For those of you joining us on YouTube, we're not multi-streaming. But for those of you joining us who've been watching on YouTube and might be coming into the stream for the first time, I welcome you. Thank you very much for being here. This is day three of streaming the MSQ of ENDWALKER. Like I said, we're in level 80. I mean, this thing goes from 80 to 90, so we're pretty fresh. We're pretty fresh into it. We pretty much just started. We did one side of it so far. It kind of forks out to do two different things. I have mentioned that for the most part, I feel like I probably should have started on this side first and then gone to the other side, but yeah, it's whatever. I wouldn't change it. I really enjoyed the other zone. But this zone is just so cool. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. We're underground. That's like an artificial sun up there. Well, I mean, it's closed now. This is probably fake rain. How is it raining? We're underground. They probably got sprinklers up there. But alright, let's get into it. Day 3. Count it. 1, 2, 3. Day 3 of ENDWALKER MSQ. My name's Chaos. Let's get her done. Sprinkles. Sprinkles on top. Alright, Krill.
Because I'm Batman.
Why, Batman? Why? Krill got an idea if I'm game. So all the people down here are called Gleaners. It's an interesting name for a group of workers. It almost sounds mystical. Alright, where am I going? Talking to people. So, I've been like pretty much... Look at this guy. Look at it. You look like a little puppet. Oh, you are a puppet. Never mind. I thought it was a little potato. But he's an automaton. Automata? Whatever. Marmots. Wait, aren't marmots what they call the... Oh, I think that's the, I think that's one of the beast tribes. Is that the little bunny things that I saw? Grizzled mice. The name of this quest is Glorified Rat Catcher. Nice. We're going back to level 1, guys. Back to level 1. We're checking east side, boys. East side, beast side. Can I mount up down here? Let's go. Yeah. It's a big ass troll. Alright, am I supposed to do something with that? Okay. I don't know what I'm looking for, but I'm gonna find it. I'm looking for the mice. Here we go. Oh, okay, he died. You need to get ready to transfer your cha. Oh, I appreciate that. I've actually thought to myself that that I might just use the whole trust during MSQ. I always like I have my squad leveled up, all right? I got my squad leveled up. I'm actually not to brag, you know, I'm so cool. I'm a triple captain and I'm a captain in all Grand Companies, by the way. And it was really cool that your squad came with you to each Grand Company. So yeah, but like the squad thing, like squads came out. By the time like squads came out, I had no use for squads. Like I just leveled them up because I was like, oh, this is neat, squads. And you know, you can send them out to like get you cool stuff and like cheaper teleports and XP boosts and things like that. So like, you know, it's pretty neat concept, you know, and like I just wish they did a little bit more with it, because like I honestly they'd probably have to like revamp the entire system to implement my idea, which I know they won't. But it's like you get your squad, you join a free company, like you should have you and your squad should be a free company, all right? And you join a grand company. You know what I mean? Like, and then like, I don't know, or call grand companies something else and turn free companies into grand companies. And okay, so apparently I'm not where we go. Okay, so I gotta go up. Maybe? Go up. Okay. So like, but yeah. So squads were pretty useless to me, but then like, as I was saying before, my ADHD just attacked me ruthlessly. I want to get that ether thing. I'll get it after I get the grizzled mouse. Trust was great, because you know, like you unlock the dungeon and it's like, oh, you want to go right away with your trust, and the trusts have like dialogue depending on who you bring. Which I thought was like really cool, because like you bring the twins together and they're always bickering and like fighting and so I really liked the trusts. And some people were like, ew, don't use trusts, like they take forever to finish dungeons. And it's like, I don't know, like depending on what class you're running, it's taking you forever to get in a dungeon. So it's like, tomato, big deal, want to fight about it, zip zop zoota bop, you know? I like them, I do. I mean, it kind of, I can understand, like, some people are like, oh, well, it's not as fast, and oh, it's, ooh, can I have my Chocobo out here? Can I have my badass level 20 Chocobo out right now? Oh. Imagine just jumping off a cliff with your motorcycle. Shock absorbers be damned. Captain's quite antisocial for the most part. You just do achievements. Yeah, you know, and I want to classify myself as an achievement hunter. For the most part. But I do have like platinums in like all of the Dark Souls games, Bloodborne, Demon Souls. Wait, is this a quest? I think that's a quest. That's not like a little... It's not like a little thing. I love how this was like the rat mission that you get at level 1. Instead of killing rats, you capture rats. True. Captain Saggy Pants, if you guys don't know the Capitan here, let me illuminate you to it. I can't keep track of your schedule 100%. But shout out to my boy, Captain Saggy Pants. And then, yeah. He's doing a 100% Octopath Traveler run. Are there achievements in Octopath Traveler? Are you playing on the Switch? What are you playing? What are you playing it on? The Xbox version. I didn't even know it was on Xbox. That's amazing. Every day I get closer and closer to developing a bunny boy. Yo, we're gonna eat rats. It's on Game Pass? Shit. Shit. Also want to shut up my boy King Pickles. Who doesn't like a good pickle? Down here grilling people like, excuse me, why don't they like us? I'm still processing the fact he's like, so those rats you just got, easy to breed, easy to eat, bada bing, bada boom. They're like they're chickens over there. Oh, okay. You don't know how I do it. How do I do what? Tell me how I do what? Keep a schedule? I don't know, man. It's only like 2 days. It's only 2 days a week. Interesting. You know, one of these days, people are going to make an MMO that uses easy speak. Of course, they're not using too big words right now. But still. I feel that, Soggy Pants. I feel that. I am for sure, like, my work can be, like, super stressful sometimes. It's like I come home and, like, for me, not saying that it's not the same for you, but, like, I just love streaming. I know I don't have a million people watching me right now, but the people who do stop by to chill, I just love hanging out with people, playing games. And, like, hold on. So, like, I could have the shittiest day ever, and I'm always looking forward. Curl, she's been getting a little static. She's been getting a little static in her brain. I'm wondering. I was gonna say, she can't be... It'd be interesting if she was, like, starting to feel the pull of, the tempering. But, can Krill be tempered? That's the question. Can't trust anybody these days in this game. Heidelman's not a goddess. Zodiac eats things. Eats things? Probably. Welcome in, by the way. Day 3, MSQ, doing our thing. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I don't know how people read this shit out loud. Like, I'm not saying I can't read, alright? I'm just saying I'm the guy, I was the guy in school that if we were doing like shared reading with the class, like I'd be like, okay, who's reading what and where? I gotta practice what I'm reading first before I read it out loud. You're all crazy out there going ham on the script. But no, I get it. I get it for sure about that, Captain. Like, but for me also, like, I have the churrin. I got the churrin going on. I got work. You know, it's like, for me, like, this is like almost how I can like specify like game time. Because I don't get to game like every day. I mean, sometimes, some weeks, I'll get to game every day. You know, but when you got a 3-month-year-old child hanging out, you know, it's kind of hard to sit down and be like, let's get down to ultimate rating. Just don't work like that. Oh yeah, definitely check out the Epic Desk, y'all. Speaking of which, speaking of Epic Desk, I will be doing a giveaway later this month. Probably on the 29th, I believe. Where I will be giving away another Epic Desk mat, except this one's quite special. Subscribed! 86 Driver. Yo, yo, yo. Speaking of Epic Desks, the man who won the first giveaway that I did ever. Look at this bad boy. Yo, thank you very much for that subscription. I don't know why it didn't pop off. That's very odd. I don't even see that in my activity feed. Welcome in, though. 86 Driver, I appreciate you, buddy. Boy! I don't have my alerts paused. The Stream Labs chatbot. We are at an impasse, as we have no other leads. This looks like it's the start of a dungeon. No? No? Okay. Look at all these tasty quests I get to do. So, like, I've actually been, like... Let's see. Just students not taking the lift. Is this another lift? That's our create. No.
I'll drink to that.
Hydrate. Cheers, mate. Mmm. Mm-mm-mm. Alright, you looking? There's another one. The Bone Worry Worker. Gleaner heading to the gate. My FC mate with her cool car. I love her chocobo, by the way. Bianca's got like this cool white chocobo. I love the minimalistic look here. No barding. Love it. Love it. Of course, yeah, there really isn't a lot of good bardings to really accent the white. Unless you go like, I'm trying to think. Innocence. The Innocence barding might look good with the white chocobo. I mean, everything was go white, right? Okay. Searching for the pack-bearing Gleaner. Where is he up here? The story's definitely pretty captivating, but... Oh, I see him. Earnville. Come here, Earnville. Oh, we are a little too close. A little too close. That's scandalous. Whoa. Oh, he is very short. Is it just the hill? I got the bunny 2B following me. We are spending very unusual close time together. Hey there. I did say on day 2 of the MSQ, I do wish they had a little bit more action. Just a tiny bit more action to start. It's kind of a slow burn. Alright, let's see what we're looking for. I love these quests. These quests make me, Alright, we're looking at the cause. Alright. Boom! Right in the ass. Wrong bird? That one's literally cawing. Yeah, but, like, I'm playing a game like Persona. Hold on, though. Seriously, that bird... It was like, hey, make sure you hit the bird that does the cawing. And that one was like, caw-caw. Oh, it's caw-caw. I need to get the one that goes just caw. That's a whack. That's a whop. Small green bird. That's the large red bird. I probably gotta get that one. But that one's also going caw-caw. Oh, it literally says green bird. I'm dumb. Alright, so you're gonna come back this way. I'm ready for you. And... Hiya! Right in the ass. All I saw was the caw part. So I was like, oh, I just gotta hit the bird that does the caw-caw, because I noticed the other one was going kiki, and the other one was going wop-wop. Read, people, read. Even the background color is green right now.
Fair shot. Nicely done. Let me trust this one up, and I'll make my way over to you.
They gave this guy a voice actor? He's important. Make myself a beverage.
I'll drink to that.
There you are. Any new revelations?
I love how the Warrior Light is just
so you
like
met with that Gleaner again, this time
doing
to
interpretive dance
capture
this
a
whole time.
hornbill. I understand catching and bringing in creatures from the outside, but what's the point of chasing after ones already here?
Oh, it's a simple thing, really. Occasionally, we remove specimens no longer needed for study. or those we've had difficulty raising. But we can't simply turn them loose.
I'm trying to place this guy's
Returning
accent.
such creatures to their native habitats is another facet of a cleaner's duties. But not in this case, I'm afraid. I've
There's a little check in there, I think.
Below.
Icelandic. Okay. Doesn't say there's like a little check. I don't want to go Russian, but it kind of has like a check sound to it.
The restricted section in the lower levels of Labyrinthos. Open only to a select few researchers handpicked by the Forum. The projects down there are the subject of rumor and hearsay. Forbidden magics. Advanced technologies that can never be allowed to fall into outside hands. Even Archons are not privy to the truth. Those who are, the researchers involved in this secretive work,
This area is so
are
fucking
not
cool.
permitted to walk freely in the city, and are instead required to live in isolated quarters.
I'm a fan.
What
Get
could a
it?
facility subject
like
to
a
such
fan.
strict security protocols possibly need with a hornbill? An experiment?
Hornbill. Wait a minute.
Possibly. I wasn't afforded an explanation. But judging by the requisition list given to me and my colleagues, I doubt it's for any kind of advanced research. I'd be more inclined to believe we were making preparations to migrate to the south. Mericidia or thereabouts.
What? Why would you say that?
Much of the flora and fauna we were asked to procure could serve as reliable sources of sustenance. They're comparatively hardy species too, able to endure harsh climates. And among them are specimens known to be effective in improving soil quality and purifying water.
Yo. These are like the
When
rich
you put
people.
it that way, migration
building-
does sound like a reasonable assumption.
So like the rich people building their bunkers,
That's all
man.
it is, though. An assumption. Through our tasks, we gleaners glimpse only bits and pieces of the Forum's plans. Our prime concern is that our requisitions, be they living or otherwise, are properly preserved for the knowledge of future generations. Now, I really must be going.
You might have to
I
make
regret that I
a.
cannot reward you as you
Might have
deserve.
to make a bun boy with all black skin and black hair.
Perhaps you might reward us after a fashion then. It is imperative that we reach the lower levels. And seeing as you are already set to descend with your assigned cargo, mayhap we could accompany you as your assistants.
Clever girl.
I'm afraid that won't be possible. Once the animals have been prepared for transport, we send them down separately via the lift. I will, of course, follow after to make my report, but I can hardly pass you off as porters when there's nothing left to carry.
Indeed. Pray forget I said anything.
How do you feel about climbing? If you
Climbing?
have strength and the courage to brave it, then there is another way down.
Yeah, just climb.
This
Just
path
climb.
leads to the
No
33rd
big deal.
facet, a mine shaft excavated during one of our expansions of Labyrinthos. While I cannot guarantee that the passage is safe to traverse, it should provide access to the medial circuit below.
I never even knew such a place existed. Thank you. This is the perfect solution.
Yeah, we fight gods and primals. Like, we can
quite
climb
welcome.
down a little hill.
But consider yourselves warned. If the going proves too treacherous, you do well to turn back. I bid you good day.
The Icelandic
Well, turning
bunny.
back is hardly an option, not when we've come this far. Let's go and take a look at this mine shaft.
Obviously, all the cool characters in RPGs have white hair. Same goes for anime. Just saying. Gotta go fucking fast, boy! Deeper into the maze. That's the crazy part. This is underground. And we're gonna go further underground. Because that's what heroes do. We get deep. How could people not know about this mine shaft? It's like literally right here. I like your saw scythe there, Bianca. I think that's actually the scythe I'm using. No, I have the regular one. Ooh, soul thing. What does it do? What does it do? Able to activate Harvest Moon. Hold on, tooltip. Cast time is instant when used outside of battle. Okay, what else does this do? That's weird. I don't like that. I don't like it when... Yeah, whatever. Alright, we're going in. Wait. We're not done. We gotta look at this cool 2B. Except, I'm not familiar with... Oh, that's just probably the bottom of the top. Come here, Alizé. Level 82, by the way, now. I've decided that I'm only leveling Reaper up with the MSQ, which, in the last patch, they said they increased the experience given by the MSQ. So, I've never had any issue leveling up. Ooh, this looks like a boss room. Oh, I hope they have like a world fate in here, like a, you know what I mean? Like, it'd be cool if there was like a little world boss that popped up in here. This place looks fucking badass. Ooh, purple means we're gonna fight. So, oh, okay, so that has a long-ass cast time. Interesting. Okay, so that's, like, definitely not something you just use. That's weird. I don't... Like, what the hell is the point of that skill? I don't like skills like that. I don't know if anybody else can agree with me, or... I can't think of another example, but... I think, there's a few jobs that have skills like that, where you click the button, and all the button does is activate the ability to use a different button. It's like, okay. And it's not even like... It's like, not even like a thing. It's not even, like, I don't even explain it. I just think that's not... I don't think that's good game mechanic. I don't think that's good game mechanics. At all. Like, at least, like, that combo that I just used right there, Soul Slice, unlocking Unveiled Gallows and all that, like, that's different, though. Like, I don't know, like, isn't Soul Slice an actual attack, too? Let's see. Yeah, so there's Soul Slice, which is an attack, which then unlocks and combos into other attacks. But this Soul... This just gives you the ability to... It just gives you the ability to use an attack. Why give us a button that just turns into another button? I don't get that. I don't get that. It's not like when I have that other thing on, I get a boost to something else. It's not like I enter, like, a mode. Okay, whatever. Whatever. Somebody was saying they don't like the music down here, but I think this is pretty nice. It might just be at that first area, because that first area had some pretty repetitive music. This is good background music. Onward, Bianca. Onward. Bia. Bia. I can't wait to beat the MSQ and just play some more casual Final Fantasy XIV, though I do want to get back into raiding. It's something that I've wanted to do. I did raiding back in Heaven's Ward, so I've effectively taken like two expansions off. What? What? I'm back where I started. I thought I went through those caves to go deeper. Deeper. Oh, it's the grapes that everybody was complaining about. I can't believe people were complaining about those grapes. Like, who the fuck cares? Who cares? For those of you that don't know, those grapes used to look like diamonds, like crystals. Grapes, like grapes inside crystals. And people were like, oh my god, look how low res those are. I'm like, what are you talking about? Nani? Nani? Did it make the Nani sound? Did it do it? I didn't hear it. Of course, my sound stuff is all messed up right now. Yeah, I mean, when you're in battle, Cassius? When you're in battle, it takes 5 seconds to cast. What's the... Let me just check real quick. What is the... Soul just does that, which lets you use Harvest Moon. So, I think it was like 4 seconds maybe? To cast that. And, 600, I mean, I guess that's a decent attack. But yeah, I would, like, never use that. You know, a pack of ads are coming, you could precast it. True, as long as you're not in combat. The second you arrive in like, I wonder, can you... It has a cast bar, so you can't move, you can't cast it while moving. At least I don't think that's how that works. Well, it's insta-cast outside of combat, but if you're in combat, it takes like several seconds to cast. And it has a cast bar, so I don't think you can. Locus Amoros. Makes good hearty wine. Stray tomato. Stray tomatoes were like badass, like kick you in your teeth monsters, I think, in Final Fantasy 12. There's just little tomatoes be running around, and you'd be like, oh shit, don't mess with the tomatoes, man. Those tomatoes will fuck you up. I still need to beat 12. I have Zodiac Age. I got Zodiac Age, and I think I'm like maybe halfway through it. But we got 15, Final Fantasy 15 after we beat ENDWALKER's storyline. Then I'll be streaming 15. Unless it's Elden Ring time, then I don't know what the hell I'm doing with my life, because Elden Ring is life.
Hard to look away, isn't it?
I've seen this part. I've seen this part in other people's streams. Now I have some context.
But they're more than pretty flowers. Heart blooms are attuned to ambient emotion.
Heart blooms.
You don't seem convinced, but believe me, it's true. This ashen grey, for instance, it mirrors the anxiety and urgency of those working nearby as they rush to fulfill sudden orders. Intense feelings like those spur the petals to change colour. Bright glowing hues in the presence of joy, dark subdued shades for frustration or despair. Yet even with the collected wisdom of Charlian at our disposal, we've yet to identify the underlying principle of this empathic effect.
They're mood flowers, like mood rings, but for flowers.
And there are other mysteries besides. Although the flower is extraordinarily long-lived, its low reproductive rate has made it difficult to find younger populations growing in the wild. With too few sightings to map its distribution, and no closely related species to track, we've been unable to pinpoint its land of origin. To further complicate matters, every culture, even dimly aware of its existence, has given it a different name and mythos. Our attempts to study it via the historical record have been an exercise in frustration. As an avid botanist myself, I should one day like to unravel the Heartbloom's secrets. But I'm afraid other duties must take precedence. I will leave you to your thoughts.
ADHD, the way to be.
NANI?
Did that make the Nani sound? Did it make
Have
it?
you learned aught of interest?
Good. 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 My
A
sounds
flower that
my
reacts
sounds
to
all
one's
fucked up.
feelings. Strange. I must say, I have never heard of such a thing.
Welcome in, Britt. I appreciate you. And all the sword fighting you do.
This is all very fascinating. But as it stands, we failed to gain any significant insight into the forum's undertaking.
I'm glad they said it.
Indeed. While there is certainly enough activity to support Erenville's supposition that a priority has been placed on improving food production, unfortunately for our investigation, these workers were never
Which one's the
informed as to
vampire-looking
how their
child
duties
thing?
serve the master plan.
If only we could interrogate the forum members directly.
Oh, vampire-looking child things. Wait, you talking about these two? The twins? Twins, Basil. Now, here's my theory for why they're interested in these
Isn't that
flowers.
the entrance to the Archaean?
Because if they're going to be moving everybody underground, like, having flowers that can track people's emotions will help keep the population
Look,
under
there.
control.
I think that's Erenville.
Arendelle.
A little difficult to
Arendelle.
tell from here, but I think you're right. He did say he was coming down to make his report.
Man, I look badass. in these
Erenville receives his
cutscenes.
orders from the Forum. Would it not follow, then, that the superior to whom he reports is a Forum member, or at least a close associate?
You mean to eavesdrop on their conversation? What of the risks?
What if we just kidnap him?
Ours alone to bear. We won't interfere with Erenville's work, nor will he be implicated as an accomplice. If you're not comfortable taking part, I can do this alone.
Nay. I said myself that I wished to know Father's
Nay.
intentions. And no
Yeah, fucking
answers will be
horse.
forthcoming should we simply ask nicely.
We can apologize later, should it come to it. Right now, we need every crumb of information we can get our hands on. Consequences be damned.
It might be best if you came along as well. In fact, we should all...
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Pearl's hearing voices again. Now she's staring at weird flower things.
Cryle?
Kryl, sorry. I call it Krill. Vile Kryl.
Oh, yes, that certainly sounds like a plan.
I'm glad you agree.
Ah,
Quickly! Erenville is on the move. We need to get closer before we lose him.
Erendelle.
Almost. I can almost reach you.
Now she's talking to herself. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We're in trouble. What are we gonna do? Even just told us like, yeah, keep an eye on that one. What's everybody having for dinner tonight? What's everybody drinking tonight? Having some rum and ginger. Myself had some ramen. Was gonna have taco salad, but Kel started cooking rancid meat, and I was like, throw that shit out. Those giant wasp motherfuckers. Not taco salad. Yeah, I mean, the meat was gray. It was like, it looked like alien meat. It looked like meat straight from an alien. I was like, oh no. Oh no! Yeah, no good. No good. Threw some chicken, spinach, garlic. Some tasty shit in a bowl. Cooked the ramen, put it all together. Oh, I loved it. Can't believe she just turned me into a frog. This is the worst plan ever. How cool if I had a little scythe on my back because I'm a reaper. A little reaper scythe frog. Yay! Fend for yourself. That's pretty much what ended up happening with me. Though I had spicy ramen, I kind of want, like, it's not that I regret it because I love ramen, but you ever just, like, after you eat something, you stumble on something else? Well, so I gotta speak with Y'shtola to prolong the transformation. Ribbit, ribbit. Oh my... I just called that. I was like, ribbit, ribbit. Alfie Toad and Ale Toad are now accompanying you. Keep them at your side. Indeed. Alright, so I'm guessing I need to avoid all combat. I see you, Toad. So after I had my meal of tastiness of the ramen, you know, you see, like, you stumble on, like, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and you're just like, you just gotta be like, damn, Cinnamon Toast Crunch would have been bad, like, it would have been nice. Oh, you know what I gotta do? Hold on, I gotta... Oh, no, I can't mount. Can't mount. I gotta change my minion. I have a frog minion. If I'm gonna be a little frog person... Where's my frog minion? Pretty sure I have a frog minion somewhere around here. Ah. Yes, here we go. There you go. Blend in, minion of the frogs. We're just a pack of frogs, or whatever frogs call themselves in large groups. Oh, ribbit, ribbit. What's a pack of frogs called? I should look that up.
I trust you will find your compensation to be more than satisfactory. We wish to make clear that we are pleased with the efficiency and thoroughness of your work. So much so that we have come bearing new tasks in need of your competent hand.
If I may speak frankly, the Gleaners have been pushed to the point of collapse by your unending demands. We are not familiars to be exploited. We are Charlayan scholars, and we deserve an explanation for this unseemly treatment. What warrants such urgency?
In an age long past, Charlayan was charged with a momentous duty. And now that word of the final days hangs heavy in the air, the time has come for us to fulfill that charge.
Doomsday.
I can say no more.
Doomsday
But I
prepping.
promise you this. All will be revealed in due course. And when it has, you will understand that your toil was in service to the greatest good.
Then I will do your bidding. For now. But unless you wish the Gleaners to rise up in protest, I advise you to offer tangible improvements for our working conditions. Your promised revelation does nothing to address present circumstances.
Boom. Unionizing the
A fair
Gleaners.
point. Your concerns will be conveyed to the Forum.
Oh shit. Hope that list didn't have frogs on it. Listen, Winda!
That's got to be the best part I've ever seen.
You may consider my debt to you
So
repaid in
it
full.
would seem.
While I do have my reservations about the Forum, I want to believe that they have our best interests at heart.
How did he know?
Which is why I'm reassured that you're busy sniffing out the truth of things. We can ill afford to place all our eggs in one basket.
How
This
he know
master
that I'm
plan
a
of
frog?
theirs, without first understanding the risks involved.
Welcome in, Pinksel. El Capitan Pinksel.
Wait! How did you know it was us?
If you mean to impersonate a toad, try studying the real thing. And don't try to fool an expert.
Can I get a shout out from Pinksel, please? S'il vous plaît, Mademoiselle the Brittany. Oui. Thanks. No need indeed. I do it because we used to take French class together, so I had to ask for it in French. Now you're gonna do it twice. Do it twice. Excellent. Excellent. Playing that Witcher life. Did you finish the quest with the Baron? Did you finish the Baron's quest? So you know there's a demon baby. I can't recall because there's this other quest with the swamp witches. Is that tied in with the demon baby quest? I know that they like happen pretty close together. And I can never recall. It's been a while since I've played Witcher 3. Seriously, Pinksel, the quest for the Baron, like, the demon baby? That... Oh, there's a clip. There's a clip about the demon baby. I see. I remember them clipping. I do remember that fateful clip. You're talking about the clip where you say that you like Nate and that you can tolerate Nate's presence and that he's a pretty swell guy? That one? That clip? Quick! Clip me saying it. Pinksel one time said that she likes Nate and like she thinks that he's a pretty swell guy in the community. Yeah. So double clip. Guess Nate's pretty okay. I guess we'll keep him around. That's what she said. That's what Pinksel said. That's right. That's right. Never again. The Demon Baby quest. Guess I gotta go this way. I'm wondering if I don't get to see it. If I don't get to see it, I hope I get to search for Krill. So where is Krill? That is the question. I think, let's see, the flowers I believe are up here. Let's see if Krill's up by the flowers. Krill's up by the flowers, doing weird shit with the flowers. Okay then. These are like endangered flowers, Krill. What are you doing?
For you. The spell will keep it from wilting.
Oh.
She said you would need it for the journey ahead.
She? You've been talking to Heidelin this whole time?
Will you speak with her now? I cannot hope to match Minfilia's clarity, of course, but...
Oh! Okay, she's a direct connection to Heidelin, like Minfilia did.
Thank you. Do not worry. She has lent me her body for only a moment.
I don't know, Cass. She looks more like, small.
It has become arduous for me to interact with the physical world without assistance. Though I might converse with you for a time, the incorporeal form I assumed on the ship would be incapable of casting even the simplest enchantment.
I was literally about to say, you just had your own body on the boat.
The ethereal sea, the place to which all life returns, where my influence is greatest.
Okay.
After Minfilia's sacrifice on the first, it was to the sea, here in the source, where I ferried her soul. I wished that gentle spirit to find rest in the world she loved so well. Her, and another who may yet have a part to play, though that will depend on you.
Indeed.
Take the flower. Walk free, for you are free, to go where you wish, to believe what you will. That bloom will be your guide, test and proof of your conviction. In darkness, seek joy, surrender not to sadness, and see beyond despair. Walk free and bear
I
the
bring
light
you
for
despair.
others to follow. Together, raise it aloft and let it shine till the end, blinding and radiant.
Just gonna put the flower in my pocket. Gonna test that anti-withering spell.
That was all too brief. Already she seems so far away. My apologies if I startled you. Ever since we began our descent into Labyrinthos, I had sensed another's will, straining to reach out. Even with my particular talents, though, I was unable to make a connection at first, so weak and tenuous it was. Once I took hold of that wispy thread, imagine my surprise to discover it was totally in her sight.
Subscribe reply.
Needless to say, it seemed wise to learn what we could before letting go.
Yes. Wild man, you.
Her answers were more cryptic than I would have liked, but at least she left us with a guide of sorts.
17
That
months. I
unusual
appreciate you,
flower.
brother. After this cutscene, I'll give you a good monster.
Yes, we are definitely making progress.
You can't be serious. We've done nothing wrong.
I appreciate that. Lurk. 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 Lurk it. Lurk.
I'm a chess fucking master.
Master Fortuno, what business has the Forum with us?
Obstruction and suppression, apparently.
Mistress Baldessian, our records show you facilitated the Scions' entrance into Sharlayan by claiming them as assistants for your organization. We are aware of your investigations. After alerting the major institutions to the presence of potential troublemakers, we received word from an Archean custodian.
This isn't the twins' dad, is it?
Operating under the auspices of the students, skulking about Labyrinthos and engaging in clandestine behavior.
Clandestine? We may not have entered Sharlayan as Scions, but we did naught to conceal our identities. Our only purpose in this city is to seek the truth. I can think of no reason why our actions should warrant the Forum's intervention.
'Tis not our way to discourage the pursuit of knowledge.
Look at the
But
blue
the
of his
timing of
eyes.
such pursuits must be considered, not to mention their potential impact. With the world in chaos, we, the true caretakers of wisdom, have committed ourselves to an undertaking that demands the utmost discretion.
Chaos!
And we will not risk its success by turning a blind eye to disruptive foreign elements in our midst.
But Dad! Chaos!
What then is to be our fate? Will you put us on a ship back to Eorzea?
The Forum will convene to examine your case. The results of said inquiry will determine your future in this city.
Yo, you's a
As
bitch.
for your absent companion, he has already been detained.
Graha!
Oh,
why?
Graha. I was like, wait.
Is reading a
Justinian?
crime now, too?
Reading is encouraged, celebrated even. Not, however, of the volumes shelved in the restricted section of the library.
Something tells me he needs an invisibility cloak. He hasn't
Refusing to
learned from
comply
the
will
master.
only make matters worse. Let us instead treat this as an opportunity to open a dialogue with the Forum.
I just love how they walk up to me. Look, would you walk up to this guy right here and tell him, like, hey, you're under
Silence
arrest, come
is
with
often
us?
one's best defense. I would advise against prolonging the proceedings with frivolous discourse.
Like, look
But
at these
enough.
dudes with their dumbass
This
hats.
is not the place for debate. The rostra await.
I'm just saying, like, they just walked up to my crew, like, yo, we're the nerd police, and we're here to tell you you're under nerd arrest. What? And I'm just like, I'm the warrior of light and or darkness, depending on what world and plane I am existing on. So, get fucked, nerds. Boom. Mic drop. Here's everybody's favorite husbando in Final Fantasy XIV, Grahatia. He's alright. He's alright. I like his outfit.
Forgive me. I was careless.
We would have been detained regardless. This way, at least, we managed to stay together. I trust your time within the Forbidden Archives was well spent.
Graha's cool. I don't mind Graha. I think he's a cool character, but man, he has a huge fan base.
The forum will come to order. This inquiry is now in session. As Speaker-elect, I will be presiding over the day's proceedings.
Of course, a lot of people like Thancred a lot, and I'm not a huge fan.
Would you be so kind as to restate the
not that I
matter
dislike
which compelled
Thancred,
you to summon your colleagues with such urgency?
As you are all aware, we
No
recently
Orderbot gets me
denied
that
Eorzea's
every
request
time.
for Sharlayan assistance. Since then, certain individuals dissatisfied with our decision have taken it upon themselves to interfere with our work. They entered our nation masquerading as associates of the students of Baldessian. But these malcontents are better known as the Scions of the Seventh Dawn.
Yo, I don't think I've ever seen Crow with her hood down.
These militants wield influence with both the Eorzean and Eastern alliances, and are inextricably involved with the crises presently afflicting the world at large.
They took my helmet off
Loose
too?
in our city, these warmongers sought to meddle with and expose matters of state secret. What are they, if not a dire threat to be expelled?
You have tarnished the good name of the students. Galuf would be ashamed.
Activate Heidelin mode.
Galuf Baldessian was never one to forsake his fellow man. Even if this nation closed every door and retreated from the world, he would have found a way to help the Scions, help
Which is
every
literally their
soul
plan,
of this
by the
star
way.
fight back against the coming doom.
A terrible enemy stands poised to lay waste to all we hold dear. In the face of such madness, Eorzea reached out to Sharlayan, a respected ally, in the hopes of forming a united front. Was your curt dismissal truly the best you could offer? Or are you so preoccupied with your momentous duty of an age long past that even the end of the world is unworthy of your attention?
Whence came this revelation?
From the mouth of a forum member within fortuitous earshot.
I look pretty cool, don't I?
Then it seems
Just
your
saying.
findings support my own. The reason I visited the restricted shelves was to study records of the Forum's policymaking process, to better understand the historical trends underlying their most major decisions. At first glance, the positions of neutrality in war and the accumulation of knowledge above all else appear constant and consistent, the unchanging pillars of Sharlayan society. And once upon a time, I might have left it at that. These days, however, I am more attuned to the subtleties of governance, and so I noticed something odd.
Odd. Indeed. Something quite shallow and pedantic.
From a particular point in time, the purpose of these policies shifted. No longer was knowledge preserved for the benefit of society. Rather, society was to be gradually reshaped to ensure the preservation of knowledge.
Interesting.
The most conspicuous and telling change was the one which befell Labyrinthos. Once little more than an oversized storehouse, an enormous allocation of funds saw it transformed into an advanced research and archival facility.
Place is fucking badass.
I also discovered a fascinating account on the finances of our Dravanian colony. The settlement attracted students from far and wide, and the connections and tuition fees thus acquired were funneled into further improvements for the archives.
He's
Now,
fucking
there is
Columbo
no
in these
question
dudes.
that our nation's progress is tied to the acquisition of wisdom. Nevertheless, the vast resources diverted for this purpose borders on the obscene. But returning to the matter of when, our change in course appears to have been made some 270 years ago.
The very same period when Sharlayan scholars in the hinterlands began a formal study of the ethereal sea.
How did she know that?
You found something, did you not? And whatever it was, gave rise to your oh-so-important duty.
Mind your tongue, Archon. If you had seen...
Yes. We are bound by a duty we cannot ignore. Knowing this, what would you have us do? Abandon our vital work and join you on the field of battle?
I mean, maybe like
we will
some
never
of you
choose the way of the sword. We will fulfill our mission not through strife and bloodshed, but survival. Come what may, we shall live on. We must.
Do as you must, then. But we Scions will fight until the heavens fall, until our last breath.
Such misguided zeal.
Father, Master Fortuno.
Master Fortuno.
I fail to understand the stance you have elected to take. But by the same token, I have yet to find a compelling argument to counter the challenge you put to us in Gridania. Still, in the midst of my uncertainty, I must trust in myself to do what is right, as others have chosen to trust in me.
I mean, he's not very, yeah, that group did not go very well.
So I will continue, as I always have, weighing the consequences of my every action, and allowing my hope for the future to inform my decisions.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Your track record with the Crystal
That's
Braves.
quite enough. Have you all forgotten the reason for this assembly?
Skolok Monteshane. He's the head of the studium and an old friend of my grandfather.
Honestly, every discussion devolves into some interminable debate. Terrible habit. Let's return to the topic at hand,
Yes, Yoda.
By their own admission, these Scions have resolved to fight alongside the Eorzean nations against the doom which swift approaches. But there exists no evidence of an attempt to incite our citizens to do the same. Furthermore, while our decision may well have been the correct one, we cannot simply bull our way through these disagreements without inviting doubts or objections. Put yourselves in their place. Who among you would leave a tome unopened if an elder forbid you read it with no reason given?
Indeed.
No. If we're to quell further discontent, then we must conclude this matter with a fair and even hand.
You tell him, Grandpa.
Order! We will have order! Master Montaigne raises some valid points.
Indeed.
Keeping such concerns in mind, I propose we enforce the following measures. Until further notice, the students of Baldessian are to cease any and all activities within the domain of Sharlayan. You will also refrain from any further investigation into the Forum's decisions and duties. Failure to comply with these restrictions will result in the immediate expulsion of your Scion associates. Let us put this judgment to a vote. All in favor, raise your hand.
Put your hands in the air if you don't care. I don't see enough hands. It looks pretty even. Are we about to win this vote?
I count 51 for and 48 against. Ooh. The proposal is passed. Students, Scions,
what up, Maggie?
You have heard the Forum's judgment.
I appreciate you.
Pray abide by it, or face the consequences. Honored members, I thank you for your time. This inquiry is concluded.
The night is going well. No. That was a good bathroom break. So basically this forum just like, yo, stop looking into what we're doing. Maggie, how the heck are you? Hope work isn't, Actually, Maggie, basically we were down underground. We were investigating because this underground labyrinth, though. So, like, basically in this labyrinth, they're, like, storing pretty much like a Noah's Ark under there. And we were trying to figure out why. And basically they caught us. That's all I was doing. I was like, wow, they got all this stuff. They're collecting all this stuff. This is weird. Why are they collecting all this stuff? And then they caught us snooping around and they pretty much said like, hey, if you keep looking around, we're going to kick you out. I talked to our false god. I was hunting rats, only to find out that the reason why I was hunting rats and collecting them is because they're good eating and they're easy to breed. So that was interesting, to say the least. But that's amazing. Germany? You know, my brother lives in Germany. He actually lives in Germany. He works over in Germany with his wife. Yeah, Germany's great. Again, check out Epic Desk. Oh yeah? Oh yeah? Oh yeah? Oh yeah? Oh yeah! My character's name is Sane. S-A-I-N-E. Sane Darkus. Well, we'll come over and visit my brother and my, I guess, sister-in-law, and we'll be sure to visit you as well. And if you're doing any freelance work over there, artistic-wise, yo, I tell you what, you guys that know Maggie HD, check out Maggie HD, for sure, seriously. Fantastic, fantastic artwork. Pretty much, she's my go-to artist if I ever need something done. Definitely check her out. Check out her Instagram. Check out her stuff. Oh, there we go. That works. Boom. Apparently there's a guy in my chat called Feet. That popped up when I clicked my shout-out button. What up, Feet? Yo! I'm not a lurker. I don't call out the lurkers, so you know, they chilling like a villain, that's cool in my book. You gotta do what you gotta do. Oh, what now? Oh, you heard me. We gotta get that pineapple on pizza discussion going back on. People who like feet, no hate. No hate. Sure. But people who like feet, like, I'll never kink shame. I'll never kink shame. But I'll tell Sleepy Jesus, welcome in. But I'll tell you what, they're like the equivalent of pineapple on pizza. It's so divisive. It's so... I'm just saying, like, people who like feet get the same kind of hate that people who like pineapple on pizza. Like, there's no reason for it. Their preferences don't affect you.
Welcome home, my lady.
Oh. You know what I mean? Like, I don't mind pineapple on pizza. You know, like, if I got a pizza and there's pineapple on it, I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm just gonna throw this in the trash. You know, I'll be like, oh, you know, if I paid, I'm not gonna pay for a pineapple pizza. Like, I'm not gonna go out and pay somebody to touch my feet. Touch my own feet. Touch my own. I'm touching my feet right now.
What are you gulping at?
Did you cut some Chaos 1-5? There it is. Cutman Extreme.
God,
Welcome in.
please don't. It makes me feel like a spoiled princess.
You are a spoiled princess. Oh my god, where are all these people coming from? Dante, what's up? What's up? How you doing? Cutman, welcome
is
in.
not to hear of this visit. And I should also like the children to have their gifts, ere my husband makes his return.
Oh, that's their mom?
As you wish, my lady.
Beautiful. You looking in the mirror, homie? You must be looking in the mirror, my homie G. Let me get a shout
Master
out
Alphino,
for
Mistress
Cutman
Alice,
and
if
our
you'd
boy
accompany me
Dante.
upstairs.
We shan't be long.
That's for you, Dante. I know you're used to that MF ribcage experience, so you know I gotta make it as close to that as possible.
The twins have been sending letters home from time to time, recounting their latest adventures. I am sure they withhold certain details, of course, if only to keep me from worrying.
Cutman, the greatest hair on
Yet
Twitch.
a mother worries all the same. In the early days especially, I tried to support them as best I could, sending the Scion's coin and other such donations. Fortunately, they have found the strength to overcome adversity time and time again. Their words grow more confident with every letter, their depictions more vivid. The triumphs and defeats, the joys and sorrows. It is clear that they have come to find value in every experience.
I just can't
But of
believe
those
how
they treasure
young
most, it would seem that meeting
Alize
you
and
might be the
Alphino's
most
mom
impactful.
looks.
Why, since that fateful day, I do believe there has not been a single missive in which you were not mentioned by name.
Aww.
'Tis plain they care for you, and I am glad they have such a steadfast companion watching over them.
I mean, steadfast isn't the word I would use.
Under
Badass
normal
motherfucker is,
circumstances,
though.
I would offer you tea, but alas, these are anything but. In any event, why don't you keep me company whilst we await my children's return? Perhaps you might regale me with a tale or two of your exploits.
They're pretty nasty. I think I'm about to hook up with the twins' moms, man. Did they ever tell you about the time I fought the giant mechanical beast known as the ultimate weapon? Hey.
When you mentioned gifts, I wasn't sure what to expect. Mother,
Oh, look how well it fits you. And the style is to your liking?
Such devastation!
It's perfect. Exactly what I would have chosen. But please, tell me you had something different made for Alphino.
I like how she has a leather romper.
Naturally. You are hardly little children anymore. And while I shall miss dressing you in those precious matching outfits, I must respect the individuals you have grown to become. See for yourself.
Look at this
Thank you for the
drip.
Splendid clothes, Mother. Stylish, comfortable, and eminently practical.
I am so glad you like them. They
Mom
are,
bought me
however,
new
missing one
clothes.
final touch.
Yeah.
If you'd allow me, Master Alphino.
Oh, is he finally becoming a sage? Oh yeah. Hey, his whatever things are way bigger than mine.
Are these?
A sage's tools of the trade. They belonged to your father. Though he may as well be chained to his desk these days, as a student he was often called upon to venture into the field. He wielded those armaments, both to heal and to harm in no few battles. None so fierce as those you two have braved, perhaps, but battles nonetheless. Thus did I pull them out of storage, to show you that he was not always
Things
the
that
man
can be
who
taken out of
stands in
context,
vehement
do it.
opposition to you now.
I accept and love all clips.
And also because it would be a terrible waste of ridiculously expensive House LVL80 commissioned artistry.
They do look pretty badass. Is this the manual on how to use them? Oh, no, just a sage stone.
I am told these devices are quite difficult to master. But someone of your extensive experience should soon have them darting about with grace and aplomb. May the wisdom...
See, here's the thing. I wish that they could have made this the start of you becoming a sage. Because this is such a badass origin story right here, man.
Are an observation and a suggestion. Firstly, Fortuno has ever been a serious man, but it was only after you were born.
So Maggie, a sage is
his work.
It's a new healing job that was released
for
this expansion.
But I know your father's. The timing of that change in him holds some significance. Secondly, do not seek to best your father with words.
Best him with your fists.
Far better that you simply show him. Let him discover the merit of your actions, after they cannot be undone.
Oh, Mother.
Oh, Mother.
We shall take your wisdom to heart. Thank you again for these gifts, and farewell for now.
Safe travels, my children. Eat well, stay warm, and keep your friends close.
Yeah, I have the option to play as a sage, but I don't typically run healing jobs. So I have it unlocked, and I have it, I think it's like 71, but that was pretty cool. All right, let's see. Let's see what we got here. Very confused right now. Alright, hold on. What's happening? I'm trying to... Hold on. Hold. Nope. No. No. There we go. I almost just dropped everything. We gotta watch the clip. We gotta watch the clip. Oh, yeah. Hey, his whatever things are way bigger than mine.
Are these?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, his whatever things are way bigger than mine. Like I haven't heard that before. Oh yeah. Man, if I ever needed to make a sound clip, that would be it right there. Ooh. Summary. That looks, oh, it's not. It's not, though. That is not the sword I thought it was. Let me check out that sword real quick. The katana, oh, it is the katana of the round. I didn't realize the katana of the round had that purple inlay, on the hilt there. I was like, oh, that's the katana. That was my first guess. You got the katana of the round? Well, I guess it's probably easy to run it as a... Oh, hey! It's craft. Oh, that's the craftable one. It's not the drop one? Because isn't there two? Isn't there one that drops and there's also the craftable one? Are they now one and the same? I know eventually they make it so you can craft the drop item, I believe, right? What up, Giz? Oh, I could probably... Tired? Workouts will do that to you. I love this new map design that they do. Honestly, it's probably one of my favorite things that they've done to for quality of life. Having a map for the teleports. After I finish this quest, Maggie, I'll turn myself into a sage, and I'll show you what I look like as a sage. Transform. So, you see his things in the back here. See how those look? Those look pretty cool. I like those. I like those a lot. And then these are the ones that I have. Maybe mine are bigger. Maybe mine are bigger. And then that's how they look. Well, at least this is how mine look when they're out. And they shoot little laser beams. All day, every day. I changed up my character? No, my character is the same. I'm pretty proud of how my character looks. Though, I'm always trying to accomplish I like to call it the MC look, the main character look.
Your time in Thafnir has certainly been eventful. In my opinion, carrying out Vitra's request and assaulting the Tower of Zot should be our highest priority.
I agree.
There's Garuda.
While I still have questions concerning the Forum and their grand undertaking, we have all but simply pressing them any harder on the subject will almost certainly result in our expulsion. Therefore, I suggest we explore the ethereal sea connection by way of a letter to Master Motoya, then make our way to Thafnir.
I wonder, even with the protection these talismans afford us, what
Dem
can we hope to
boys.
achieve once inside
She's
the
blind,
tower?
actually.
According to Orenvold and
She
Fudo's
has
report,
a type of
they were
blindness.
unable to free the Emolja. Worse, their attempts triggered the tower's defenses, which led to a summoning of Luna Ifrit.
What does it tell us that the Spires even have such defenses?
She has the ability to see the ether, though. So she's
Simply
kind of like
pulling a prisoner from the
Daredevil.
wall is fatal. Thus, the
Except
direct approach is doomed
she
to
sees
failure
life
from the
energy,
outset.
not
Any
sounds.
further measures to dissuade such actions seem unnecessary.
Seem
Unless,
dissuadable.
of course, there is a way to free the prisoners without killing them.
Pretty
then
much.
It stands to reason that any intruders will be met with overwhelming force.
The towers appeared throughout the world in but the twinkling of an eye. 'Twas by magical means these structures were raised, I surmise. A spire thus conjured must needs be maintained, and I suspect an arcane catalyst, some manner of core, doth lie hidden within.
Doth lie hidden within.
Destroy the core, and the tower ceaseth to be, thus liberating the captives without harm.
So we can hope, and I would prefer to enter the tower.
I wonder
with a
if I
working
just have
theory
this game
in
at
no
a
plan at
bad
all.
setting. I mean, the game doesn't look
Assuming Estromma's
bad, but it
reasoning
doesn't
is
look
correct,
great when you get
the
up close
chances
on
of
some of
the
this
defenses
armor.
remaining dormant are small to none. Any primals will have to be dealt with, and defeating one will likely only lead to the summoning of another. Our every victory will only compound the prisoner's suffering.
May we not then divide our forces? Those proficient in healing will focus on sustaining the captives. That duty can be covered by Urianger, Kryl, Yostola, and myself. The remaining scions will proceed with the search for the core. Admittedly, this strategy puts both parties at greater risk, but it should bolster our chances of saving the Archosaurus by a considerable margin. If you're to fight primals, then you'd best have at least one healer with you.
And I am more than happy to fulfill that role. I found wielding a sage's armaments to be rather intuitive, and look forward to testing them against a more challenging foe.
Listen, hold on. We're about to go into some kind of battle.
We have a plan.
And he's like, you know what? I know I just started this class, but let's just give it a try.
So let us make our preparations.
Why not?
Regroup near the tower.
Why not?
The military post in what's left of the Hamsa hatchery should serve as a convenient staging point.
That sounds perfect. And remember, the experimental etherite at the
YOLO,
confluence is there
right?
for those who need it, so there's no excuse for being late.
All right, we got to go to the haberdashery. Where that is. Oh my God. It's so expensive. I had ramen. You missed my story earlier. Basically, Kel's made of rancid ground meat, and it just was terrible. Granted, I really don't, I don't need, to really worry about money because I'm rich as fuck. Dude, steak and potatoes is so good. Oh my God, so many quests. Oh no, no! This isn't my first time doing that. Dicking around like a nincompoop. I'm not gonna do this quest real quick, but I gotta get to that dungeon. Oh my God, we're finally gonna do a dungeon. I think that's what we're doing to now. Finally, some battle. Gumbut. Giz, I finally did. It got to the point where I was like, you know what? I want it. I want the bike, and I'm gonna get the bike. So I just decided to get it. Hold on here. Dicking around like a nincompoop. I'm not gonna do this quest real quick, but dicking around like a nincompoop. I'm not gonna do this quest real quick, but that's so funny. Thank you for that clip. Yeah, it was just one of those things where I was like, I know it's $30, but I was like, fuck it, I'm doing it. So my question is, Bianca, I can't do the rest of this with trusts if you're in the party, right? I'll just have to like do this again while also in a trust later on. I'm not too worried about it because we're gonna get insta-Q with a healer in party. Damn, I need to pee like a motherfucker. This is damn rum and gingers, man. Cool. That's fine. They're pretty tasty. Two hottest spoosa. Bras. This is the guy who's the eye to the dragon, who's also the secret mayor. The second I met this guy, I was like, something's different about this dude. We've been waiting for this day. Oh my. Yo, a guy at work showed me a trial to show on TLC of a girl in my county who had cancer and it affected her pituitary gland, and she is 22 and looks like she's 8. I did hear about this, but I'm gonna put that on hold real quick. Cause I think I'm gonna use the bathroom. I gotta pee so bad. Oh, out of the blue, I gotta pee so bad. I'm not even gonna go away. I'll be right back. Okay. Oh no, the auto dialogue was on. All right, cue us up. We're going to this dungeon. We're gonna get some battle content in on this stream. It only took us 3 days, 6 hours, 7, 8, 9 hours to finally get to the first dungeon. Let's go! Oh, I feel bad. Because these people are gonna be like, skip the cutscenes, please. And I'm like, nope. Bing bong. Fuck your life. The Tower of Zut. Alright, we're gonna do crazy pulls. We're just gonna keep going. We're just gonna keep going. Down to one guy. We gotta switch to that sweet, sweet single hit combo. Look at these weird spinal cord thing. This dungeon's like, look how epic this is. It really reminds me of Void Ark, which is a 24-man raid from Heaven's Ward. I don't know why we stopped there. Is comically large. You say that to all the boys? I think my weapon is just fine the size that it is. It's a scythe. I mean, I will say this, Britt. I will say this. A lot of the weapons in Final Fantasy XIV, actually MMOs in general, they are a little on the larger side. And I typically like the more realistic looking weapons. I love a good fantasy look to a weapon, but it's like ooh, first boss. This is my first time ever actually seeing this dungeon. I've never seen anybody run this before. I'm pretty sure you were running, I thought you were running, like a summoner or something? Oh my god, I died. I gotta zoom out a little bit. In New World, your battle axe is bigger than your character. Yeah, that happens a lot in, Oh, and I lost all my stuff. We have 4 people. There is, you gonna do a thing? You're gonna do a thing. This is actually a really cool boss fight. I'm really enjoying this. Kind of sucks that I died, but, you know, what are you gonna do? He's so turny. Uh-oh. Gotta use my bloodbath. There we go. Woo! So this is Maggie, this is a 4-man dungeon. So you get a group of 4 people, 1 healer, 2 DPS, and a tank. I think in this game you were running a conjurer, which becomes a white mage. Right now we're running with a dark knight, a black mage, and a white mage, and I'm playing Reaper. And right now we're doing relatively large pulls. And because we do AoE damage that collectively deals more damage to the group than if we were to fight smaller individual groups. Oh, damn, that's a big boy. These guys are the Zot Deathclaw, the Zot Hyper-tuned. I mean, I'll be honest, they're badass names. Oh my god. Damn, one was not a fan of me right now. Alright, the goal is not to die anymore this run. Big old group holes. That Dark Knight. Dark Knight's a tank in this. I actually main Dark... Well, I used to main Dark Knight. Recently, I've actually, for my tank role, I've been playing a lot more Gunbreaker. In fact, I played pretty much all Gunbreaker for the last expansion, Shadowburn. But, you know, when you play a job for, like, 2 expansions, they do change... They do change, but they don't change that much. Oh, these are the Magus sisters. The Magnus sisters. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my god, we just started that so strong. Like, ridiculously strong. I just barely missed, getting hit by her skill. Ooh, is that a haste? Looked like a haste. Ooh, no, it's a stop spell. Interesting. That is not typical. Oh no! I've been, like, confused in my ultimate form! Yeah, I definitely misplayed that for sure. Yeah, I misplayed that. You're so confused? Oh, yeah, it's probably tough to... If you don't play this game, it's probably tough to figure out what is going on right now. Boom. 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 Got him. I'm just as confused because I don't know anything about anything when it comes to these dungeons, Maggie. I've never ran. This is a blind dungeon run. No idea what's going on. I'm just doing a first time react to this dungeon. It's pretty intense. I like it. I like it a lot. Let me just spend 5 seconds casting Soul So. Looks like the inside of a dragon. Maggie, you might be right. There's another, I was mentioning earlier, this kind of architecture and whatnot reminds me of the 24-man raid from the Heavensward expansion called Void Ark. Everything has like a very alien, like Alien vs. Predator look. And, while you cook, hope you're cooking something delicious. How did Fandaniel get so many weird shit to like, well, he is a Mon from a past life. That still like boggles my mind that Fandaniel is a Mon. And like, from what I understand, the one and only Ascian who isn't the original Ascian, but was like strong enough in his own soul to like, that just, yeah, boggles my mind. It's crazy. It's craziness. Are we about to fight all three? Because we fought two so far. I love the I cannot wait to play. Cindy first, okay. Alright, we are going to go balls to the wall. So we gotta kill this one first. apparently she does Healy Boys. We are gonna do some more big boy damage real quick. Oh my god. This is like so much shit flying around. Break. Okay, next. I wouldn't say they made dungeons harder, but this is definitely feeling more challenging than your typical dungeon. In the past, man, like dungeon work was like bullshit work. Like it was like, oh, a dungeon? All right, let's just clear this real quick. So what, I died 2 times so far in this dungeon? And that's not so terrible. They make that so tight. Ooh. We did it! We cleared the dungeon! We're amazing!
Is everyone all right?
We fortified the captives with what magics we could. Have the defenses been disabled? All appears quiet for the moment.
The lower floors were disturbing enough, but this place feels wrong. The ether is heavy and thick, like wading through a quagmire.
Quagmire? Who else but Quagmire?
I believe we stand in the tower's beating heart. What sayest thou, Ishtola?
I see it. Ether siphoned from the land runs up through the spire, flowing to a single point. This is the core we seek. Yet something is off. As large
I am
as
a
the
dork.
structure is, it siphons far more ether than is required to sustain it. 'Tis as if the core is feeding on the energy, consuming it. I need to take a closer look. Curious. There is something there embedded inside the core.
Fried chicken.
A man's limb.
A man's
This is what
limb?
we came to destroy?
Yes, if you would be so kind.
They just said there's a body part in the core? The fuck? What piece do you think's in there? Show off, Estinian.
And that should be the end of it.
Yeah, I caught that it sucks up more ether than it needs to exist.
My theory that the
And
tower might come
that
crashing down
there's some
following
kind
the
of
core's destruction
limb inside the
doth
core?
appear to be correct.
Bully for you! And how are we supposed to survive the fall?
What of the prisoners below?
The floor beneath our very feet dissolves. Brace yourselves!
I pray I'm not too late.
I mean, I'm assuming it's not Van Daniels. Is it my original body? Damn, Grahatia just is like, don't worry, I'll just teleport everybody out of here. Graha's like, you know, I used to be a crystal man.
Oh, what happened? Where are we?
By my reckoning, we're still on the island where the tower stood. But 'tis as if it never existed. Hardly a scratch. But how?
There's Graha eating sand.
Graha wove a levitation spell at the last moment. Large enough to catch everyone, it would seem.
Is it Zodiac's arm and/or limb?
That explains the lack of obvious injuries.
The expenditure of so much ether has taken its toll. He will need plenty of rest, but should otherwise
Because I'm
be none the worse
Batman.
for wear.
Not now, Batman. It's cutscene time.
then the immediate problem is what to do with our new friends here. They'll be much changed for their time in the tower. Even if their bodies are intact, I doubt we could say the same for their minds.
Angelo and I will take care of it.
I have every faith in you, but there are just too many for you to treat alone.
We'll send at once to Eorzea for more corpses, and call on the local mages to lend a hand.
Hail, Scions! We were watching the tower when it simply disappeared. What happened here?
My bad, my bad, my bad.
The threat is banished, and thy people delivered. They are, however, in need of treatment, and we of a secure locale and helping hands to assist us in its provision.
I've been punished for my dancing.
You shall have all this and more. Come, let us convey these unfortunate souls to the city.
Ooh, look at their fancy hats. Put a feather in my cap, that's a whap. Whack-ass plumage. So I hit 83 just completing that dungeon. I'll be right back, y'all. Away screen. Away screen. I don't hear anything. What has happened? Oh no! Hold on! Hold on. I'm sorry, Katie, this was the perfect storm. I tell you what, this rum is going right through me. I'm glad I finished the bottle. Before I cram him into a specimens jar. Let me jump up in that bike. How could you? Right? I know. I'm a fiend. Some might even call me chaotic indeed. Oh, no, you don't. You're not catching me, gingerbread man. Or I'm a gingerbread man. Whoop. I'm gonna do two things at once here. It is about 10 o'clock where I would be wrapping up, so I'm gonna do a quick scan to see who do we got around to raid. How could I, Giz? How could I? I hope you all could hear that fart. Just farted. Pinxel is doing The Witcher, I see. Let's see. You just here making that chicken. Finger licking. The question is... Alright, so I have to lead Estinian to this area. And then... Oh, god dang! Girl! That's a glam and a half. We're gonna talk to this guy here, and we're gonna try to find ourselves a nice, tasty raid. I like this guy's armor too. That's nice. That's real nice. I wonder if I get that too. Oh my god! Evolving Pond Scum flexing that hard. 21 months. Sings with chaos. To me for 21 months, almost 2 years. What a flex. What epicness. Say hello to Sly for me. I've missed her. I miss you. I miss LARPing. I miss it all. Alright, we gotta get over there because we got Estinian following us. I guess we gotta talk in a circle. Maybe that'll get us up there. Oh, there's fucking stairs. Why didn't anybody tell me about the stairs? I am ashamed. You back? You quack? You know it? We're just wrapping up this. What? Bagel Bite? What are you doing raiding me, Bagel Bite? Mr. Bagel Bite, man. I was actually thinking about raiding you. Hold on, let me go this way. Boop, 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 raid! You! What I do? What I do? Superman the ho! Welcome in. Well, this is your bedtime? Unacceptable. But you know what is acceptable? All hearts singing in the chaos. 7 months sub. Oh my god, Bagel. Why you gotta be like that? Why? I feel the love tonight. I feel the love. We got a raid.
Hello Raiders. Please enjoy your stay. I hope chat has commenced the hype procedure. Consider
activate hype mode
and joining the collective.
And this. What's he doing? It's a raid. And it's a raid into subscription. We got a subscription. We got a subscription.
Thank you. Welcome to the agency. Your mission, if you choose to accept, is to spread chaos. Let the hype begin.
Let the hype begin. Let's get the hype going. Hype, 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 hype. So much hype.
Do you really believe your own hype that much? I am the hype!
I am the hype. And the edge. For I am Hype Lord. Doth chaos. Yes, indeed. And I say it like Batman. When I was a small boy, my father took me into the city to see a marching band. And he said, son, when you grow up, will you be the savior of the broken, the beaten, and the damned? It's raining. Gotta pull out my umbrella. Ella. I know that I'm probably gonna get DMCA'd for all that singing, because, you know, it probably sounded just like the original. The marching band was Prob's high school homecoming, and his dad was drunk. Probably. I ain't gonna deny it. Welcome in, Raiders. If you guys don't know who I am, my name's Chaos, aka JP, aka Just Playing, aka that guy on the screen talking to you right now. Welcome in, y'all. Welcome in. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming in on that raid. Thank you for supporting my friend here, Mr. Bagel Bite. And yeah, I'm just saying, I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming on that raid, hanging out with me on this fateful night. You know, it's not the greatest stream, but it could be a tribute. And Brett coming in here, and remember, My Chemical Romance is the direct reason. Hey, no problem, no problem. I was literally like just talking like, okay, we're gonna finish up this quest here because we gotta walk Estinian around. I love this guy's armor, or chick's armor, I should say. Oh, Tenacious D is the way to be. Tribute. I know like every word to every Tenacious D song. Long ass Fucking time to go. Me and my brother Kyle here walking down along the Lonesome Road. Is this gonna be a voice acting? That's me! Exactly. Exactly, Bagel. Exactly.
Are we the last to arrive?
I hope we've not kept you waiting.
Naked out of the side hatch.
Not
with
at all.
The oils and
Your comrade is feeling better, I trust.
Much better, thank you. Harness remedies are certainly potent in more ways than one.
One becomes accustomed to the taste, although I hope you never have cause to do so. Pray, take your ease.
Full glad I am to see you all unharmed.
Valiant scions, for your heroism, you have my boundless gratitude. You cast down that dire tower and set free its hapless captives. You cleanse their souls of its corrupting influence. No words of thanks will suffice. In place of platitudes, I offer a bounty of warding scales. Pray accept your due reward, along with the goodwill of Radzatan.
Alchemists throughout the land were put to work in the forging of your talismans. The finished ones have been collected, and now await you at the High Crucible of Alchemia. Present this letter when you are ready to take them into your possession.
I'm a little upset right now because I was just looking for my copy of the Pick of Destiny and I don't have it. I don't know where it is.
Vital in restoring serenity to our star.
Every single one of those scales came from you, didn't they? You must still be in such pain.
Wow, Brett.
'Tis of no moment.
9/11 gave us MCR, MCR gave us Twilight, and Twilight gave us 50 Shades. Wow. Talk about the butterfly effect.
Albeit brief, my involvement in the Dragonsong War afforded me a glimpse of the myriad sorrows which consumed both dragon and man. Though you were half a world away, such tragedies as befell your kin must have affected you deeply. And yet, you chose to live among men.
In the age when that conflict first bloomed, my choice had already been made. In some distant place, man slew dragon, and dragon slaughtered man. Yet no hate could I muster for those smiling faces which did look to me for guidance. Not even my brother's righteous rage could rally me to his cause. I huddled here, secret and still, hoping against hope that which I had built would remain untouched by the chaos and carnage.
Did somebody say chaos?
'Twould seem we share the same desire for peace, great Vritra. To that end, I wonder if we might trouble you with another question.
Must defeat chaos.
The Telophoroi are intent on recreating the final days, an apocalyptic event which we know to predate the sundering of the star. As the longest lived among us, know you aught of this terrible cataclysm?
Nay, when war and strife drove my sire from his home, he crossed the great expanse with only our unhatched eggs as company. He alighted upon a shattered source, its 13 reflections long since scattered beyond the rift. Of events preceding his arrival, he knoweth naught, save that which Hydralin hath deigned to disclose.
I see. So again, 'tis the inscrutable Hydralin to whom you must look for answers.
Seek you to divine the will of this star? If so, I have a tale which may afford you some small comfort. 'Tis a story from my youth, many, many years ago. To my sire, I once posed the question, of all the stars in the sky, why didst thou settle upon this one? To which Midgardsormr did reply, 'twas the last bastion of hope. He believed so long as Hydralin endured, so too might dragonkind. Solemn and portentous were his words. What deeper meaning they held, I could not, dared not pursue. 'Tis a stone I've left unturned ever since. Yet take you solace in the knowledge that whatsoever Hydralin does strive towards, 'tis an ideal which hath earned my sire's conviction.
I still don't trust Hydralin, though. I don't. I should.
Thank you,
there's
Reacher.
something about her that I'm
You've
a
given
little
us
iffy
warm
about.
reassurance in a world gripped by cold uncertainty.
While I'm sure we all have a great many questions, I think it's time we collect the talismans and be on our way. Our fight against the Telophoroi is far from finished.
We must take our leave, but please do inform us if we can provide any further assistance.
Prithee, a moment.
Prithee, a moment.
There is one whom my sire hath judged worthy of honor and respect. The one known to men as Eorzea's champion. This hero of renown and rumor, 'tis thee.
I only wish you could be here with us now.
I know of his clash with Omega, and the long slumber which was his price. Yet even closed in sleep, my father's eyes are far from blind. He is watching over thee.
Dragons are so fucking powerful in this world.
'Twas a revelation most pleasing that thou, a child of man, had gained Midgardsormr's trust. But alongside mine elation runneth a rivulet of dread.
Dragons are
For
cool.
upon thy life's reel wind too many threads of fate, power, wheel enmeshed
Dragon's
woe.
life.
Amidst this tangled knot, thou shalt know no rest. 'Tis an endless confluence of forces, a struggle without surcease.
No regrets.
More
No
terrible
regrets.
still is the attrition wrought upon thy companions, as they are swept up in the storm of thine existence.
No, humans are good people. Everyone, honestly, everyone's garbage in this game at one point in time in their lives. Or in the history of the game. Well, these are all the people that passed. Oh, really? They gotta do our boy like that? Oh, shit. Damn. Now I feel like we gotta go visit his grave or something. Shit. Wow.
It will be your strength and your salvation. The hope thou wilt need come the end. Even cowering behind my curtain, I know the suffering of the powerful.
Kind of.
I have watched my siblings driven mad by loss. Thus do I exhort thee to spare no effort to keep thy loved ones safe.
Apologies. We hadn't meant to interrupt.
Apologies.
It's just that we do have a history of suddenly collapsing, and when you didn't follow us out...
'Tis I who must apologize. I have detained your champion overlong with idle chatter. Go.
You're breathtaking.
At war's end, I pray I welcome thee back.
I appreciate you.
Where together with thy joyful comrades, you may toast your triumph.
It's okay. You can unfollow and follow me again all the time. Wow. Okay, we're gonna close up this quest right here. We're gonna call it a night. Xanderman? Or is it Xandermain? Wow. This was a pretty fucking badass day, to tell the truth. I appreciate all you being here, though. But it's time to do it. Switch to big face. Switch to big face.